What's up, Devils? J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions. The questions we're going over today are on the video. Got a devil confronted by a canoe. What's heavier than Fear Factory, bro? Question mark. This ought to be a good one. 149 comments. Fuck, I didn't prove shit. Scroll all the way bottom. I'm gonna need a fucking sip of water to get to this one. There should be some pretty good shit in here, huh? Let's see how fucking heavy fucking Fear Factory is. The devils know about that shit. Like Eternal, shitload of question marks all the way at the bottom. What record do you think has so many interludes and samples that it ruins the flow of the record? I mean, for me personally, I already know that the obvious answer that some people are going to say is Mortician and Empatego. You know what's funny too? Not so much anymore because it's just a bunch of fucking posers in 2022. But when no one cared about Mortician in like the late 90s and early 2000s, because nobody did, you literally go to a show, there'd be 20 people there. I see them this weekend. It's literally sold out show, which is good for them. It's kind of funny. But a lot of the people that would bitch about Mortician, like, yeah, they got more samples than fucking music and too many samples and shit. It's like, do you know where they got the fucking idea for that? And they all like this band was Empatego. And Empatego's intros were long as fuck, some of them. But yet they all got nothing to say about them. Will Romerson in an interview, in a magazine interview, goddamn fan, getting pretty sweaty in here. Will Romerson in an interview fucking years ago, I can't remember what magazine, maybe it was Grimoire. Yeah, it might have been that. I can't remember though. But yeah, that's where which I didn't know. So, makes sense. Obviously, I knew he'd be an Empatego fan, but that's where he got the idea from. So, it's just funny how a lot of idiots would fucking say that, but they would have nothing bad to say about Empatego. But I would assume that's the two bands that people would be the go-to because they're the bands that pop right in my mind that have the most amount of intros. I think I got 4 replies to see if there's any ideas in here. Morbid Angel, Formulas Fatal to Flesh comes to my mind. On the B side, it's especially ridiculous. There's a bunch of interludes. I don't know what to call that. Like intros and shit? Joe Dinkins, you beat me to it. Only thing I remember not liking on Formulas Fatal to Flesh, I believe it was the last track that was like 10 minutes long or whatever. Kind of reminds me of like Incantation, Mortal Throne of the Nazarene, the last song, where it was just long and just flat out boring and pointless, in my opinion. Black Sabbath Volume 4, but still good. Like, there's a ton of intros on that? Where? There's kind of a little bit of dicking around on it, I remember that. Well, yeah, I guess when he said interludes and samples, I was just thinking like movie samples or intros in general. As far as ruin the flow, can't really think of any. I just don't like it when it's a fucking long-ass intro and it's fucking stupid. Especially on the first bathroom when it's just winds blowing for 5 minutes. Shit like that. It's like, dude, 20 seconds of the winds would have been plenty sufficient. So, Sewer Bomb comment, question, J-Dog. It's one of my hobbies checking out new bands, but Slam Worldwide is taking it too far by promoting bands that have only one song. Oh, really? Do you know that? Or more homeboy sounding that bro metal. Do you think they're purposely trying to make us hate them? I don't really know anything about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I indifferent. Don't have an opinion. Josh Deathrash, J-Dog, what is your thoughts on Necrodeath? The second album I like more. What's the first album? The Shining Pentagram. Then weren't they initially called Ghost Rider? They did that, the 84 demo. Second album was at Fragments of Insanity. Every time I listen to it, I like it. Very unmemorable. Yeah, 5 replies. I'm sure people are going to say they're fucking great. From Italy, right? The first album was released in 1988 called Fragments of Insanity. That's the first album? I thought the first album was or is that the demo, maybe? The Shining Pentagram? Their first album came out in 87 called Into the Macabre. So maybe the first one I ever heard was Fragments of Insanity. It's a good, catchy record, but for whatever reason, unmemorable. Every time I listen to it, it's like a kind of a new listen. And then the other ones, like I said, the Shining Pentagram, the Ghost Rider stuff, it was just kind of like true fucking 80s like death thrash, which was good, but kind of like nothing there. I'm like, this is just doing nothing for me. Did it suck enough? They just the songs were just literally doing nothing for me. That's what I remember. But it's been years since I listened to it, but that's what I always kind of was my review of it. You know what I mean? Kind of like, to be honest with you, that's how the Sodom demos are for me. I love In the Sign of Evil, and honestly, Sodom Obsessed by Cruelty is like that for me. It's true, solid, influential as fuck, awesome metal for its time, but it just does nothing for me. I listen to it, it just kind of like almost like I find myself I'm never not even paying attention. It just doesn't like there's like no it just doesn't it doesn't capture my attention whatsoever. Never does. But for whatever reason, I love In the Sign of Evil. So there's like the demos, which did nothing for me. I have them though. I have like a really nice bootleg LP of them. Go back listen to it again. Don't think they suck. It's just it's kind of going one ear out the other. I'm like just there's nothing there. And then In the Sign of Evil, I think is great. Obsessed by Cruelty, same thing. I'm like fucking nothing there. Then after that, Persecution Mania, I thought that was really good. And then what's after Persecution Mania? Is it Agent Orange right after? That's really good as well. So they're kind of like, but they had recordings like that's where I put Necrodeath. Just solid fucking metal. I can totally see why someone would love it, but just for me, nothing there. Gold Tonser, J-Dog, have you heard the demos for Regurgitation Clitorectomy? Demos. Trying to think. There's the official CD. For years, all I had was a CDR that Brian gave to me years before it came out. Would that have been the demo? I remember it had the Cryptopsy cover on there. Did that come out on the official disc? Because for years, when I was always listening, it was just the CDR that Brian gave me. But I do have the official release. I got it like years, kind of like years after it came out, just because I almost forgot about it. Because in my mind, I always had it because I kind of spun the shit out of that disc after Brian gave it to me. Like I said, it was well before it ever came out officially. So it's kind of one of those things like you just automatically thought you had, and you look in a collection like, oh fuck, I don't even own an actual official pressing of it. So I went and got it, and I can't remember is the Cryptopsy cover on there. If not, maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe it's a demo, but I don't remember it being a majorly different version. Because the disc that I have that Brian gave me, it was a full blown good studio recording. So Metal Musician 696, Yo J Dog question: do you snowboard? I do not. Nor do I think I'd be able to be honest with you. I think this is kind of a shot at me, I guess. Patient mental. Never seen you in the comments, blah, blah. You know what is a extreme pose? People who act like they are the authority on music, yet can't play or have no music of their own. Okay, do I act like an authority? I don't think I do. People ask my opinion and I give it. That's not an authority. I just have my own fucking channel like pretty much every fucking 16-year-old of today does. At least they have a goddamn Facebook or Instagram, whatever. What am I supposed to say? I mean, so if that's a shot at me, that's it's cool. You can take a shot. I don't really give a fuck, but it's like people come over and ask my opinion. Am I supposed to say I like something or sugarcoat it if I don't? And am I supposed to dislike something if I do like I'm just gonna give my opinion. Take it or leave it. People are still asking about the Glenn interview. Well, Gorham, though, I asked, did you see that Glenn interview that came out a few days ago? I've answered that several times. Yes, I did. I was excited as a fan of Deicide, was a good interview, but was disappointed to hear he doesn't listen to metal anymore. Just like I said, even prior to the fucking interview, that make him a poser in your eyes? No, it doesn't make him a poser in my eyes because he literally admits that he doesn't like it. If he claimed he does and he doesn't listen to it, what makes someone a poser is they claim they listen to shit. Like, I'm not going to throw any names out either, but it's some people, especially in the past that I haven't seen in years and years, where they claim they listen to stuff, and let's just say I've been in their living space for some time, where I saw what they listen to. I'm like, I'll tell people, I was like, they never even listen to this. Like, they claim they like their favorite bands were like Vaughn and Beharit type of shit like that. And I'm like, I've never heard them listen to it, ever. I was like, always the shit I hear them listen to was like Angel Witch, the Misfits, and stuff like that, more upbeat, poppy stuff. I was like, that's a fucking poser, claiming for just all image, just because it was the tough guy black metal image that they were putting on. And that's a poser. If Glenn goes around and says, yeah, I listen to, Suffocation and fucking Creator and all this stuff of today, nowadays, listen to it, and he doesn't, he's literally just listening to Rush like he claimed he does, yeah, that makes him a poser. But him saying, I don't like it, it just means, is he into metal? No, he's not a metalhead. For example, if your mom and dad aren't into metal, are they posers? Like, people think, I think it's the dumb 16-year-olds of today, they think if you, like, they use the term poser if you don't listen to metal. What? How is that a poser? Posing is copying off somebody or pretending to be into something that you're not. That's it. And it's not just exclusive to metal. It's like, for example, if I came on here and told you guys, I listen to hip hop. I listen to hip hop all the fucking time. I love hip hop. I would be a fucking poser. I'm a hip hop poser. not a poser to the metal scene because I like hip hop as well. No, a poser to the hip hop scene because I don't listen to hip hop and I'm claiming I do. That's a fucking poser. Him claiming him admitting that he doesn't listen to it. No, it just means. But yeah, is he into metal? No. Do we have similar interests? No. That's all that means. It doesn't make him a poser. Fucking I don't know if I'd call Tom G a poser, but in a sense, kind of. And also, like, he's definitely more of a poser than Glenn, in my opinion. Especially because he trend hopped all those years with Celtic Frost and stuff with his music. You could just tell he's going back. He's just trying to, with the times, what's going to sell type of shit. So he kind of doesn't even have an opinion of his own music-wise. But his interview, yeah, I love heavy music, and he doesn't mention one goddamn heavy band. So it's like either A, bro, you are a fucking poser, or B, you're a complete naive dumbass because now you didn't mention one goddamn heavy fucking thing, not one. So it's like, yeah, either naive dumbass or poser for him. But Glenn, no, he's not in the metal though. I've said that a million times, not in the fucking metal. Go to Tantra, J-Dog, have you checked out the music video for Deeds of Flesh, Crown of Souls? Because I think that was the first one I didn't like. Oh, maybe it was Reduced to Ashes. I didn't like that album, so no, I didn't. I would send you a link, but I barely am able to use the internet. I don't do social media other than watching YouTube videos and comedy. 100% agree, brah. I was the exact same way since I started this fucking channel. And I barely even know how to do this. People are like, are you monetizing shit? I think it's monetized. I haven't got paid or anything, and I don't do this for money. If one day they throw a fucking stack of cash at me, cool. If they don't, I didn't do this for money. I haven't made one penny off this fucking channel. That wasn't what I did. I think maybe I'm doing it right. Maybe I have no fucking idea. Because I just kind of hit like when I when I upload the videos, I just hit the top the create video thing, and then it puts in the description. I type in whatever I think it's gonna the video's called, and I kind of just next, just agree to everything. I don't even read the shit. Just agree, yeah, submit, yeah. Come on, let's get this fucking thing up. I'm not reading all this shit. When I got time for this, goddamn fucking stereo instructions. I'm not reading that shit every time. So I don't even know if I'm doing it right, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm with you on that, brah. And could you do an album ranking for Deeds of Flesh, or maybe some reviews? Yeah, I've talked about him several times. Trading Pieces is probably my favorite. I've said that over the years. I will say this though, the last one I listened to, we got a reissue in the shop. I'm gonna put this player again. It's been a little while since I listened to it. Gradually Melted, man, that is so fucking good, dude. I literally, like I said, the only reason I wouldn't put it in my, I almost like that more than Trading Pieces. Like the only reason I wouldn't put it is because it's an EP, 4 songs. So if I had to pick one or the other, take one to an island, I would take Trading Pieces because there's more songs. Love the song Carnivorous Ways. Born and Torn Apart is fucking phenomenal. I love that song. Hunting Humans, the title track, Trading Pieces, Acid Troops, fucking just phenomenal. But not to say that I didn't remember liking Gradually Melted. I just the last time I put it out, I'm like, not only was it like it holds up, not that it was that long ago. The last time I listened to it was probably about over a year ago, but less than 2 years ago. But it just not only did it hold up real well, I was just like almost like I forget like how good this was. And another one that's kind of like that too, like is Inbreeding the Anthropophagi. Because I think like I've always said the first 4 are my favorite, the first 4 releases. Then the 5th one was the last one I liked, but definitely my least favorite. It stands by that, but in the first 4, I always kind of probably, if I had to pick a least favorite of the first 4, Inbreeding was probably on there, but I'm like, I don't know. I might even like Inbreeding, because it used to always be Trading Pieces, then Path the Weakening, then Gradually Melted, then Inbreeding. It might be now. It might be Trading Pieces, Gradually, Inbreeding, then Path. I might like Inbreeding more than Path even now. But as a kid growing up, it was always Path. I don't know, but all 4, very, very, very good. And then Mark of the Legion, I like it. It was it took a couple listens when it first came out. I didn't dislike it. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of boring. But as I got to know the songs on it, I enjoyed it much, much more. But it is still my least favorite. And then the first album after that was that Reduced to Ashes. I just remember being, it still sounded like Deeds of Flesh, but I remember just being bored. I was like, just kind of like the Sodom shit and the fucking Necroduff. It's just doesn't suck by any means. It's true, still true to form. It just did literally nothing for me. And the ones after that, I've only heard 1 or 2 after, and I remember not liking it at all. There was one from like an album from like 2013. I don't remember the year. Maybe that's the year I listened to. It was 2013. It was a much, much later one. maybe 2016 or something. I saw somebody on it talking about on YouTube or something. So I was like, I'll check it out. And I was like, I don't like this at all. I was like, literally, I was like, if somebody else put it on, the player, didn't tell me what it was, hey, tell me who you think this is and tell me what you think of it, I would be like, I'd have no idea who this is. It didn't sound anything like Deeds of Flesh. It was still Eric singing on it, the one that was. I was like, this doesn't even sound like Eric or Jacoby even singing, like even vocally. I was like, I literally sounds nothing like Deeds of Flesh to me. Didn't like it. But I can't remember which one it was, to be honest with you. My stupid man suits. Yo, what up, J-Dog? You ever play any instruments? No, I do not. So, look pretty new to the channel, so I'll answer that real quick because I definitely don't recognize your user ID. And what's your take on grind? Definitely got to be new new to the channel because I like it. I mean, like a lot of it. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of the gore grind stuff, like carcass and shit, general surgery, hemorrhage. You know what I mean? Yo, man, the Chomo is dead or in jail status? Question mark. I've been seeing the piece of shit. I think what he's done, I think he's slightly fallen off the wagon to where he's only coming like 3 times a week and just doesn't do cardio anymore. I just see him do his weight training, so I think he does like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think he figured out the cardio. This is a complete waste of my time. I'm still fat, so what the fuck? It's not doing anything more. So my diet's complete trash. So the cardio's not fucking outworking the trash diet. Um, but unfortunately, I fucking still see that fucking piece of shit. He's back, unfortunately, so he's not dead or in jail. I need to see this dude one day. The whole fake tough guy thing is so funny. The thing is, actually, someone like you, go, man. I would like if you step in my front of my gym, I kind of would like to get your opinion. Like, so is it just me, man, or what do you think? Like, is this guy now? Initially, you might be like, I don't know, just kind of looks like a regular guy. But if you kind of like started to like watch him shit, I mean, I don't know you that well, so what your opinion on stuff is, but I could kind of see where you might be like, oh yeah, I could see where you're coming from. Because again, like I've other people at the gym and shit, they're not in the death metal or anything like that. So in the case, I don't know, I guess not as like mine as J Dog, they thought very similar shit. They're like a couple of them like they didn't think about it, and as I was telling them, like, dude, now that you bring it up, like I can kind of see that. Like actually, yeah, that actually kind of makes sense. But a couple were like, oh yeah, dude, I can totally see that. Like yeah, like I didn't like jump to that conclusion, but like 1,000%, like I don't think you're wrong at all. So I'd be kind of curious, like yourself, someone like yourself, like what you would think. This is a good question, and obviously it's something one of them's going to go first. Wicked Devil. If Cannibal Corpse lost Paul or Alex, the only two original guys for the Devils I don't know, Paul the drummer, Alex the bass player, there's only two original guys in the band. Do you think they would still tour/record? Thanks, King Devil. I don't know. I guess if one of them was probably to die like in very soon, like let's say next year or something, probably the other one would go on with, because at this point it's a career and a job. But if they was getting towards the end, like let's say it's another 10 years and they're all in their 60s, they might be like, let's just hang it up. Alex died. He created the name. He started it. We're all old as fuck. We could barely do this anymore. They might throw it in then. That might be kind of the straw that broke the camel's back to call it a day. But if it was like, this year or next year, one of them died, I think they might carry it out for another 5 to 10 years, just again, because it's at this point in their career and they're not like maybe can afford to retire yet. That'd be my guess. But yeah, never thought about it. Good question. I will say this: I am kind of curious. I've always said it between the big ones, and honestly, it always Morbid Angel was in there. But at this point, I kind of almost forget like Morbid Angels is still around to me. It's almost like they're not around anymore because it's like, do they even count? Like it's not even the same band. It's like who's in that band now? It's like they keep changing their members like fucking their goddamn underwear. But it used to be like between Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, not even Obituary, because to me too, those guys kind of like that whole they broke up, then they're back type shit. That was just completely for a paycheck. So they kind of don't even count. At least the Morbid Angel stinkies they got. At least they never left. So it was always, I thought there was maybe one other big boys. Definitely those three. Unfortunately, it's kind of, so basically it's down to just Deicide and Cannibal Corpse, in my opinion. The two that kind of started around the same time. Deicide's demo was out a couple years sooner, 87. But, both have shitloads of fucking albums, both consistent to what they set out to do, still playing death metal. Fucking Glenn still singing about hating Christians and Cannibal Corpse about gore after 35 years. So very, very consistent, right? I'm curious who hangs it up first, like which band is going to be, call it a day first. Um, I don't know. Who do you think, Devils? Who's going to break up first? Like whether by necessity, because like if Glenn dies and Deicide continues, I'm like, oh, you guys are a bunch of fucking homos. Like this is just stupid. Like you can't. That's like literally Merciful Fate going on without fucking King Diamond. This is just dumb. For me, for a band that's irreplaceable. You can't keep Deicide going without Glenn Benton. You know what I mean? So like whether one of the main guys dies, or they decide to retire, like say Slayer. You know what I mean? We're done hanging up. That type of shit. Who do you think's gonna be done first? Which band do you think's gonna carry on the longest? Cannibal Corpse or Deicide? Who's gonna? Curious. I've no idea. I kind of I don't know. I guess I don't know who I would think would be. So put in there, Devils. What do you think? Cannibal Corpse, Deicide. Who's going first? God damn it! And also, comments, questions, concerns. Put in the goddamn fucking comments box and get an answer bright early in the morning. Later, God damn it.